It is event number 2 of the 2026 season, and that means it's the PBA Pete Weber Classic. Yes, we are here in the St. Louis, Missouri area alongside a guy who is, I think, lives about 4 minutes from here, Kyle Sherman, a Missouri native, as well as Rick Allen with you. And Kyle, what a great event to come to our second event of the season.
Yeah, having the Pete Weber Classic here, what an event. Match play, guys going head to head. I mean, we had some exciting matches. I can't wait to get into it.
Well, we had a 300 game to start off the season as far as the winning game by Brandon Bonta. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that again, but it would be great. Let's find out who the 5 are that are going to be fighting for the championship today. Justin Knowles and Matt Russo ended up battling it out to find out who would be the #1 seed, but Justin Knowles won that. Then it's Graham Faw, who's back once again in the finals, Thomas Larson, and Hayden Stipik. So we've got 5 guys that really broad as far as their experience. We've got a guy making his first TV show, we've got guys who haven't won, and we've got guys who have won majors.
Yeah, a broad range of experience going to be happening on this show. And it's always fun to see guys perform under these lights for the first time. But it's also, we have that 1 seed. We have Justin Knowles, hungry for his first title. And there's nothing like winning that first one. And now he's the one being chased instead of everyone, instead of chasing the #1 seed. And I can't wait to see what he comes out and has energy with today.
It's going to be a lot of energy. Let's find out how they got here, because a little bit different than just pin totals, what we saw last week. Now we had a tournament format where you had the round of 16 and then into the round of 8, where it was a best-of-7 head-to-head competition.
Yeah, best of 7. There's nothing like it in bowling. It's mano-y-mano. You both are taking on the same exact lanes. We have Hayden Stipik and Anthony Nyer. Hayden made quick work of Anthony, winning 4-0, both lefties there. You had Matt Russo and Justin Knowles, another lefty-lefty matchup. That one going 7, going down to the wire. EJ Tackett versus Thomas Larson. Thomas putting on an absolute masterclass on how to attack the lanes and set them up, and he took down the best bowler in the world. And then you had Graham Faw and Tom Smallwood. I'm chuckling because Graham, there was no beating that man. He was absolutely destroying everybody, and unfortunately Tom Smallwood took the brunt of that.
Well, you talked about the fact that Larson was able to take down EJ Tackett, but coming into this event, the guy who was on fire was Belmo. I mean, Belmo was scoring like nobody had ever seen, and Stipik took him down. And so I think everyone was like, wow, okay, Belmo went down, then Tackett goes down. Guys are fighting for a title here.
Yeah, Hayden, for those of the people that know Hayden, know that he's this titan that this man, when he gets lined up and he starts striking, there's no beating him. He beat Belmo last year at the Masters. I mean, this guy isn't afraid to take down anybody. So it's no surprise that he was able to take down Belmo, and Belmo was in rare form this week. I crossed right next to him all week, and I think for the rest of the field, we're lucky that it was match play, and he just had to beat one guy, because if it was total pins, I don't think anyone was catching Belmo this week.
Well, you're doing triple duty, by the way. Not only were you bowling earlier this week, but you also did an interview just a few moments ago with Justin Knowles. Let's take a look at that.
All right, we are in now an empty locker room, now that most of the players have left, and I'm here with #1 seed Justin Knowles. Justin, #1 seed to get your first title. How are we feeling?
Feeling good, man. Feeling confident. Never been in this position before, but there's no time like the present to pay it all off.
Yeah, I mean, so many times you're chasing, now you're the one everyone's coming after. How does that feel, being in that spot?
To be the man, you got to beat the man, and right now I'm the man.
You heard it. This guy is the man, which he is, the #1 seed. All right, now let's stop talking about bowling a little bit. We're at the Pete Weber Classic. Who do you think on tour right now is the next Pete Weber, or the closest thing to it? Because I don't know if there is ever going to be another Pete Weber.
Yeah, I don't know if you can replicate it, but you know, it might be my time to take over the villain role. We don't really have a true villain right now, and you know, I'll be that guy if you let me. It's all up to the crowd, so we'll find out tomorrow.
I love it. And that was a crowdsourced question from Yao Rivera. Yao, congrats. You won a signed Pete Weber bowling pin. So congrats, Yao, and congrats, Justin. Go kick some butt on the show, man.
Thank you, guys.
The namesake of the tournament, of course, Pete David Weber, PDW. has more highlights than probably all of these kids that are playing today will ever dream about. And that is because the bad boy of bowling has been so phenomenal throughout his entire career. It has gone from tournament to tournament to tournament, where he has, well, he's even talked to the crowd in a couple of them. Well, he is. That's right. We have Pete Weber with us now on set. And Pete, I know we talked to you last week as we're watching the 2013 PBA Tournament of Champions, the last tournament that you won on the tour. We talked to you last week about the naming of this tournament after you. How big of a deal is that to be so known in this sport that now tournaments are named after you?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for the kind words. It's actually very humbling, because I know I've actually reached the elite, because I don't think you can get any higher in bowling than having a tournament named after you. Norm Duke has a trophy named after him, which I wish I had a trophy named after me too. So, but to have a tournament named after you means you've reached the elite and you can't go any higher.
You are the yardstick, by the way, when it comes to bowling. Everybody measures himself off of Pete Weber.
Well, I don't know about that, but you know, it's nice to be known. It's nice to be appreciated, and it's nice to see some of the kids today that actually show a little emotion and get excited when they bowl.
Pete, talk about having the tournament named after you. You know, most bowlers are measured by the success on the lanes, but and of course, obviously, you've had more success than almost anybody. But I think your legacy is going to be measured more by the impact you had on the game and the inspiration you had. Like, what do you want to be remembered by, or for, I should say?
Well, the first thing I would like to be remembered by is my career. I mean, 37 titles, 10 majors. That's something that I want to be remembered by. But I also want to be remembered by my actions that I did on the lanes. I mean, you know, that's a job. People don't realize it's a job, and when you're into your job, you show emotion. And maybe I had a little different emotions than everybody, but I got that, and a lot of people don't know this either. Dad was a really big ham in front of TV shows. When he was in front of a camera, he was a ham. He loved being there, and he loved to get down on the one knees and put his hand up, you know. So, but it was more, you know, gentleman-like, I guess, when he was doing it. And when I was doing it, when I started it, it wasn't acceptable. I didn't care. I was being me, and actually a lot of people don't know that my dad encouraged me to do this. He's very proud of what I've done. And it's not what I have done. It's what the Weber family has done in bowling. It's not just me. Dad started it. He wanted me to follow it. I did. And I put my own name out there. I never wanted to be Dick Weber, and I never claimed to be. And he never claimed to be Pete Weber. But you know what? Like I say, it's what we did as a family and not just what we've done individually.
So would you tell young bowlers now to let their personality out? Because I know a lot of bowlers today, it almost seems like they're trying to be very even keel and not be emotional, but that's very different from the bowling that we saw out of you, and last week when we watched Guppy Troop go into the Hall of Fame. I mean, you guys showed emotion, and would you suggest and would you tell these younger bowlers that they can be themselves?
Oh, well, absolutely. I would tell everybody to be themselves, but I can't encourage them to be like me, because everybody has their own way of doing things.
I want to talk about just the crotch chop of it. This is just for me. Do you remember the first time you gave it one of these on the PBA telecast, or what inspired that?
Well, I'm not sure I did it before the new guys took over in the PBA, before like Steve Miller became the commissioner, and you know, they had a talk with us right before that, but I don't think I ever did it before 2003. And then Steve Miller said, you guys do whatever you want on TV. You got free reign. Like, free reign, huh? So, you know, and everybody knows I'm a WWE fan. I loved wrestling. I've been watching it since I was 10 years old. I loved DX, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H with the crotch chops. I loved it. That's how I got the crotch chop. And that's the first time I did it was 2003. And the next week, Steve Miller showed that to the whole PBA tournament.
Yep.
Said, this is what we need on TV right there.
And guess who was on TV a lot after that? That's right,
Me right here. And
Okay.
you know what? I loved it. I loved every minute of it. The bad boy thing.
Yep.
I played it.
Yeah.
I'll play it today, too. I don't care.
Yes, you will, by the way.
It's something that you got to have your good guy. You got to have your bad guy. I'll be the bad guy.
I'm going to put you on the spot. All right. And here in a couple minutes, these guys are going to take to the lanes. Have you got a favorite going into this of these 5 guys?
Man, really, Tomas Larson is the only right-hander.
Yep.
So I'm feeling if he can get by the first lefty, then he's got a really legitimate chance of winning. But I'm always for the underdog, so I'd like to see Justin Knowles win.
All right. The number 1 seed, he is the underdog in this situation. We will find out if that does happen. All right, you've got to go to the lanes because they're going to introduce you here in just a second, and we've got to get to bowling. That's right. Coming up next on the CW, head on over there right now. It is the PBA P. Weber Classic from right here in Missouri.